In this video, I'm essentially going to show you some of the secret tactics and hacks that the big dog companies, but might not be accessible to the larger audience. We have a face that comes up for the CEO of Perplexity. And just like that, we've got a valid email address. So this would work perfect. Multiple millions of dollars is being spent on buying data, on checking and validating data. That's just kind of like a workaround to get someone's email address. James at OpenAI is a valid email. Perfect. So now we know that we can reach out to the head of platform of sales, getting into that inbox with the appropriate offer that matters to James. So I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Let's start with the bad news. Every time you open up a new application, you sign up on a new website, fill out a form, your data is constantly shared and resold and moved through different pipes and multiple different applications. So what does this mean? Your information is constantly being scraped, constantly being analyzed and sold to large data companies. Why? Because your information is what they need to help target you as a potential customer. So the good news, well, if you're on the other side and you're trying to grow your business, you're looking for ways to generate more leads, well, good that there's a lot of data companies out there that do that. So in this video, I'm essentially going to show you some of the secret tactics and hacks that the big dog companies, but might not be accessible to the larger audience. But let's jump in and let me show you how you can find anybody's email address. All right, so here's a website that's really cool. It's called Mail Meteor. And what they have is an email permutation tool that you can load up someone's first and last name and then enter in their domain website. So typically in a lot of businesses, if you're targeting people for their business email, this is going to produce more than likely one of these options as their valid email. When people are setting up their domains, they typically are going to put their first name and their last name at their website, or first name dot last name, and kind of all these different options. So here's Sam Altman, the famous CEO of OpenAI. So let's try Sam. So if we press this generate email addresses, that's going to create this long list. And all you have to do is copy to clipboard right here. And then I'm going to go to an email using Gmail. What you do is really simple. In the to field, just go ahead and drop all of those email possibilities. And what's cool is one of these, if it's going to work, is actually going to look different. So as we can see here, Sam Altman did not work. So we're not able to find out what Sam's email address is just from guessing what permutation it might be. So let's try somebody else. So what if we tried Aravind Srinivas, who is the CEO of Perplexity, which is the big new search engine that gives people sources and really is a deep dive technology that AI can help you in your searching and getting contextual answers way better than Google. Okay, so actually I made a mistake here. It's not perplexity.com, it's perplexity.ai. So that's something you got to pay attention to. As we regenerated all these emails, let's copy this and then let's go to our compose in Gmail. And then as we enter in all of these options, here we go. We have a face that comes up for the CEO of Perplexity. So when this happens, this means Google's got a verified account that this is a valid person. Aravind at perplexity.ai. So sorry, Aravind, this is your email, and I'm sorry for anybody that tries to reach out to you. I hope they're trying to add value. This is a really nifty tool because this will give you the ability to find emails that are out there. So let's go into finding someone using Hunter.io. So let's scroll here to from names, go to Finder, and then let's try again that Sam Altman at OpenAI. And here we go. We've got Sam Altman at OpenAI. Perfect. What we could do is we can copy this, and then we can go to something like Never Bounce. And let's try validating Sam Altman. Invalid, do not send. So would not do that. Let's see, does zero bounce? So Sam.Altman is a catch-all. So could it get delivered? Possibly. Is it worth it? Probably not. So let's see if there's somebody else at OpenAI that we can try finding an email address for. Maybe somebody in sales. So come here to look at people. Let's look for someone that's got sales in their job title. Try this guy. Garrett McCarthy. So we can copy Garrett McCarthy here. We've got an 80% for this. Let's go to zero bounce. And just like that, we've got a valid email address. So this would work perfect. First name, Garrett at openai.com. Sorry, Garrett, but for all the people out there marketing to go-to market leaders, there's a solution that's easy to get people's email addresses using Hunter.io. So that's number 2. Hunter.io, it's a great tool. It has a massive lead database. You can use their email finder by just putting in someone's first name and last name and their website domain, and you'll be able to find their email address so that you can reach out to them. All right, let's try number 3. So let's see if we can use social media and find the email address for my good friend Kyle Frungian. So for someone on Instagram and that has a presence, you can typically have a couple routes to get their email address. They might even just put it on their Facebook page or their Twitter page, or if you actually just sign up for their funnel, that's one way that you can get their email address. So sorry, Kyle, but if you just fill out your information here and put some data in, go through the funnel, he's going to email you, and then you have his email address that then you can contact. That's just kind of like a workaround to get someone's email address. Let's see if we can find on Facebook. Awesome. So right here on Facebook, Kyle's got an email address, Kyle at coachkyledating.com. Perfect. So right there you have it. From social media to just finding someone's email address, it's not that hard. Just kind of look around a little bit. Let's see if he's got. So I wonder here if you type in Coach Kyle, and then we've got Kyle Frungian. Another technique is to come back to Hunter.io, which is free. We just typed in Kyle Frungian at his domain and got that Coach Kyle email address right there. 95% valid and accurate. So that's the social media route and going through someone's funnel to get their email address. So let's talk about some of the big data platforms like Apollo, ZoomInfo, Seamless. So these are massive databases. Multiple millions of dollars is being spent on buying data, on checking and validating data, and having partnerships with the email verification providers so that the most cleansed, up-to-date information can be sold to the communities on those platforms. Highly recommend Apollo.io being actually one of the better off platforms to get accurate email addresses and mobile phone numbers. ZoomInfo has been the leader in this space. They were the first one really to make it big and popular for B2B email information in one place. However, their cost is exuberant. I mean, you're looking at $12,000, $15,000 or higher for annual contracts to be able to use ZoomInfo. If you can afford it, that's a great place to get data. But if you can't, Apollo would be The number 2 best, and then the 3rd best would be Seamless.ai. So here we go. We've got Apollo's main page. Here's what Apollo has. This is their main website for you to use, their software for B2B engagement, define and close your deals. Here's ZoomInfo. This is their website where they've got B2B data and a software CRM to do your outbound engagement. And then this is Seamless.ai. Seamless.ai being the number 3 runner-up, having not the best information compared to Apollo or ZoomInfo, however, still information available, and in some cases, they may have some better quality data. Overall, that would still be my 3rd pick for you. Awesome. So let's actually try to look up somebody on LinkedIn. So let's go back to LinkedIn, and I want to show you something that's pretty cool. So we've got this guy, head of platform sales, and Katie. So if we wanted to reach out to the head of platform of sales, and open up their profile. What's really cool with Apollo that I highly recommend using is on someone's LinkedIn profile, what we can do is simply on here, the right-hand side, there's an extension that Apollo offers. And this extension makes it super easy while you're using LinkedIn to simply see somebody's information just by pressing this access email address. When you do this, it's going to scan and try to find that verified email. And then you also have the ability to access mobile numbers right here, all in one place. This extension can be linked with your CRM. So if you press the dots right here, you can connect your Salesforce, your HubSpot, your Outreach, or your SalesLoft. They also have an API that you can customize so that when you unlock information or when you repeatedly cleanse and resync information that's up to date, it can port it back to your CRM. So highly recommend this if you're okay and comfortable with Apollo having access to all of your data. If you have really valuable information, there are companies that prefer not to do this direct two-way syncing or using Zapier to create a one-way sync where it'll just push information, but it won't push data back to Apollo. So this can be really handy by having information on hand that's available. It's really critical for your B2B operation. So let's go ahead and try to copy this and let's check in Zero Bounce. James@OpenAI is a valid email. Perfect. So now we know that we can reach out to the head of platform of sales. Getting into that inbox with the appropriate offer that matters to James is having a pain point solving what? Is he trying to get more leads? Is he trying to improve his content strategy for OpenAI? Is he struggling with sales and onboarding enterprise clients? Is there something in the news that just happened that you might be able to decipher with an AI sequence that's picking up on these news articles, maybe using another platform like Clay, and you can summarize, hey, James, are you having this problem? I just heard this in the news. Taking this extra step and presenting a valuable insight that you took the time to look at James is a part of that outreach. So how do you find anybody's email address? This is just a simple, basic overview of how to do that. If you're interested in how to do the engagement, how you should structure your outreach, your opening line, your subject line, your first sentence, your first one-liner to get their attention, well, stay tuned because in another video, I'm going to be going through just that. And if you have any questions or other topics you'd like me to cover, drop that in the comments below, and I'd be happy to hear from you and make a video solving whatever problems or topics that I haven't covered yet. All right, so now that we've done this and we've gotten an email address for James, let's go to inside of Apollo. So let me actually log into an account so you can see how easy it is to also find email addresses inside of Apollo. Awesome. So inside of Apollo, if we come here to the search on the very top left, we can search by people or we can search by companies. So if we were to want to search by people and we wanted to find that head of platform, here we're going to get a list of individuals whose job title is head of platform. So if we wanted to reach out to Charlotte, for example, all we do is just press access email address. They're going to look inside their existing database if somebody else has already clicked, if they've already validated that this is a valid email. If they haven't received a valid email for this contact, or this person just joined the company, they're going to API call another platform and see if they have the email address. So these platforms make it really easy for you to not have to worry about validating and going to multiple different vendors to try to find the valid email address. By just using Apollo, you're getting their best guesstimate that this is the most valid email. Somebody has sent an email address to this, and this is a likely to engage email address. So again, one of the best platforms out there. The pricing is reasonable on Apollo, and I highly recommend it. Can't enough. Excellent. So let me go to another platform that some people talk about called AppSumo. AppSumo is a platform where you can discover incredible deals with software platforms that are in the beginning, and they're offering wild lifetime deals for purchasing upfront access to an upfront subscription to their platform. So if we type in email database here, we're going to see a bunch of offers that are out there. Hey, this is usually $619, but you can get it now for $125. If you're really on a low cost budget, this could be an option for you, but I want to give you a warning. If you're investing your time, which is your most valuable resource, into new software products that are likely in their early alpha or beta phase, you're going to run into glitches, bugs, errors, information not being correct. Things just are not going to work. So take this with a grain of salt. If you're going to invest your time, yes, you can get some incredible deals, but these are all early adopter platforms that are going to have bugs and problems with them. So just be forewarned if you're going to invest your time. There may be some of these. I personally haven't had success. I've only wasted my time with these tools, and thus, which is why I recommend sticking with Apollo. So there you have it. This is how you can find anyone's email address. I hope this was helpful and useful to you. There's a lot that we unpacked here. Just know that finding people's email addresses is just one of the first steps. It's not that difficult, thankfully, now that we have large companies that have invested multiple millions of dollars into building robust databases so that we as email marketers can tap into the lead database. We don't have to go through some backward channel and like somebody emailing us like, hey, I've got this crazy awesome list. Do you want to like send me a Venmo and your bank account information? And then just trust that I'll send it over to you and that it'll be really good. Like just trust. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to waste our time. We're just going to go to VC-backed large companies that are billion-dollar valuations and have the robust data that we need and be able to on tap get exactly who we're looking for to serve our clients with our product and service. So I hope this has been helpful for you to bind anyone's email address. There's a couple of options here. If you've liked the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really means a lot to my channel. And if you have any questions, drop them in a comment. I'd really love to hear your feedback. So what other ideas do you have about finding someone's email address or questions that I can help solve? I'll see you guys in the next one. AI Alex out. Cheers.